What's up, everybody? This is the Baseline Frequency Podcast. Welcome back. I'm your host, Brian, aka Scope the Producer. And this is where bass music, car audio, and real world experience come together. This podcast is about helping you enjoy bass without wasting money and without guessing your way into problems. So today's question is, why does bass feel different, sometimes weaker, inside the car than you expect? Because a lot of people think something's wrong with their system, and when really they just don't understand how the car works. So let's get into it, shall we? Alrighty. So I've been there, so I do kind of understand what you're talking about, but I've also had it another way where the bass was inside, but when you got outside, it really didn't sound like much, almost like a factory system. But we can get back to, you know what, we're going to talk about that possibly in another episode. But today, we're going to talk about the total opposite, the other way around. Basically, like I said, the bass sound weaker inside than it does outside. Alright, so like I've said, I've been there. You build a system, step outside the car, and it sounds crazy. You sit back in the driver's seat and think, man, where did my bass go? I've definitely been there, and the other ways too. Well, the other way also. But to get to the point, I'm going to say this. When you hear stuff like that happen, that's usually when people start turning knobs they shouldn't be touching. Let's talk about the truth about the car cabin. Inside the car is not an open space. It's a sealed, reflective box. Now, bass waves bounce, cancel, stack up, and disappear depending on where you're sitting. So what you hear inside the car depends on position, not just power. And with that said, let's hit our tech checkpoints for a second. Here we go. I got 4 tech checks, and we're going to go as follows. Number 1, are you ready? EQ settings. If your EQ is boosting the wrong frequency range, bass can feel loud outside but thin inside. A narrow boost won't always fill the cabin. But then let's also talk about the crossover settings. I've had a couple of people say something about that too. And here is what I come up with. For the crossover settings, this is number 2. If your low pass filter is off, your subs might not be playing where the cabin naturally reinforces bass. Too low or too high, and the bass doesn't sit right. And then, y'all, this is a good one. For number 3, Let's talk about electrical reality. Yeah, voltage. I don't know why I say that, y'all, but voltage drop matters. So if your alternator or battery can't keep up, you lose the bass. Bass loses impact inside the car before you even realize it. And I've seen some cars do that. They actually sitting at the light and like especially like at night, and you can see their lights just dimming, like the alternator is just suffering. It's trying hard to, you know what I'm saying, keep the momentum going, keep the system operating while trying to operate the car. And you can actually hear the difference. Every time that bass hit, it's like it's zapping and killing that alternator just a little bit more. So, that might be, no, that's not a might be. That's definitely one of the main things that keep your bass not hitting as hard as you want to. Because if you're not getting enough power to your system really is not performing the way it should, and your bass is going to suffer for it. So, with that being said, let's move on to number 4, installation basics: polarity, gain structure, box tuning. Small mistakes here feel way bigger inside the car than outside. Now, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But I'm going to say this. I've had a box where, I mean, it was built good. It really was. But it was like the installation in the box was not up to par. It was like it. Okay, so this is the reason why I took that pause, because I was trying to still. I was actually mentally seeing it and hearing it, should I say? So I guess what I'm trying to say is it wasn't sealed tight enough. So it was like air was leaking out, and I mean, y'all, the box was good. The box was nice, because if it was good, it wouldn't been leaking. But you know what I'm saying? It suffered so bad, all because they. I believe he was trying to use caulk or some kind of rubber sealant in it, and I watched him make it. I'm not gonna go all into it, but make a long story short, he didn't seal the box good enough where the bass would actually be concentrated to a certain area. Uh, the port and the ported box, that's what it was. It was a ported box. So it wasn't, going to that actual area. So, and which made the box not be tuned correctly. Small mistakes like that can uh, make a whole difference in the sounding of your bass. So y'all be mindful of that, because that can kill your joy real quick, especially if you're building and you took all the time to build, but then you didn't seal it correctly. That's a big upset, should I say? Yeah. So we're gonna let's bring it back. Bring back the priorities. This everything we just got through saying here. This goes back to priorities. I mean, you see people chase louder bass instead of better bass. And better bass comes from understanding how the car reacts, not just buying more equipment. I mean, you can buy all the EQs, all the crossovers, all the amps, but if you don't have those simple things, your basics, rather, should I say, forget simple. If you don't have your basics down, you really just wasting money. So don't do that, y'all. Tweak what you got first and then see if there's a need for something else. If it is, by all means, go for it. I'm not telling you not to. Upgrade your system, but know when to upgrade it, because sometimes you can buy something and it doesn't change a thing. It's gonna change your pocket. Yeah. So you just losing money, really. So it's time for the bass track of the week. I hope to God I ain't bore y'all with all this stuff, but I mean, I really want you to have your system straight. So, but other than that, this week's track is produced by me. And I picked this one because it shows how control low end behaves inside a car, not just outside. So if your system is set up right, oh, trust me, you feel the difference immediately.
Track's called Feel the Bass Drop. Let's go.
So, let's go. Okay, now let's talk real for a hot second, y'all. I'm gonna put it like this: nobody explains this stuff when you're starting out. I mean, at least I haven't seen it where you're not just really getting it, and I hope you're getting it with me, because I'm trying to make sure that I have receipts before I talk about it. And I hope I ain't too nerdy with it, because some of y'all just don't know. Except the vets. Some of the vets, hey, surprisingly don't know either. But most of the time, it is what it is. But what I'm saying is, back to the system. When you think louder equals better, it's all fun and games until you sit in the car and feel disappointed. So this podcast exists so you don't have to learn everything the hard way. And with that being said, if this episode helps you understand your system even a little better, hit the like button, drop a comment, and tell me where your bass feels strongest. And also subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And if you want more bass music, check the links in the description. So, without anything else I gotta say to you, this has been the Bassline Frequency Podcast, understanding the sound so you can enjoy it longer. I'll catch y'all in the next one.